Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the third episode, if I may say so, of the Mensa series. We're talking about global careers. And today, we have a guest who's going to talk to us about the careers in Finland. I'll just quickly introduce Raghu so that we know what we are in store for. Raghu's been is a, one of the is a close friend of mine, of course, and he's an engineer and MBA from XLRI, and has about 16, 17 years of international experience with companies like Nokia, Microsoft, Taito. Okay, and he's been involved with the Finland India business uh, forums and has been talking to government and private sector. Okay, and of course is an angel investor. So he's been there, done that. For the last 12 years, he's been connected with Finland. So I would straight away, uh, allow Raghu to come over and start off. Raghu, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Achyut, and thanks for this kind introduction. And then, hello everyone. I'm honored to be here, and then hopefully, I'll also add some value over the next 20 minutes in this call. Thanks.
Yeah. So Raghu, the first thing, what intrigues everybody is why does Finland top the happiest country ranking? Okay, and tell us more about living there, okay, the good and the bad part of it.
That's one of the most often asked questions, at least that I receive from my network, to be honest. How does Finland manage to do it? So, if people don't know this, it's in fourth year consecutively, Finland ranks among the happiest nations in the world. It is. So, I keep telling this in a short way if I need to give the answer. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy, I think
Uh-huh.
Finland has covered all the bottom levels, and now they are in the self actualization phase or self realization phase, where the problems are not about survival, the problems are not about electricity or food or accommodation, because if you don't have it, government will provide you all of this. If you don't have healthcare, then government will provide you this. So the public systems are extremely good. You can trust the system. So that way, I think they are in a different stage. They don't compete with each other. So in a school, the first ranker will never get special attention. So the lowest rankers will get the attention so that they get to the medium or the average. So there is no bad performer, or most likely there will not be a bad performer in Finnish education system. They all will be at least average. It might be counterproductive that the best performer does not get that effort or time which a US or a Australia or a UK school will give. So that is the
Uh-huh.
system. The system has ensured that everyone is at an average level really good. Everyone is very happy. Everyone is taken care of. And that is what makes it beautiful, I would say. And that's why they top the happiest nation. Just maybe one more thing which I would add. Even a
Yeah.
president's wife will, or the first lady will deliver their kids in a public hospital. So that is how the system has been made that everyone will use the public healthcare system, and they might be in your next room in the next ward delivering babies. And that can
Wow.
only happen in very few countries and definitely happens in Finland.
Fantastic. So, in the interest of the audience today, and most of us Indians would love to know more about Finland, the top industries, what kind of,
Yeah,
of course, we have great brands there, but what kind
yeah,
of jobs are available in Finland? If you can quickly head on to that, will
yeah.
be wonderful.
So some of the so the jobs wise, there is a diverse set of jobs. But there are cases where local language is needed. Finnish is the language. It is one of the
Mhm.
difficult languages, but once you learn it, obviously there are enough opportunities. I don't know the like I know the language, but I don't use it at work, and still I can work. So I've worked in for the last 12 years without the need for language, and I do
Wow, 12 years
marketing.
you
I
managed
was
without Finnish.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. For this year, I would have heard maybe Finnish twice. I have never used Finnish as spoken or written language. So never in my career. So you can still build a career without the language. That's the first thing. Industries wise, if I add, then I would say gaming is one industry.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic careers here. Health, this thing, forestry is one where Finland has very, very good brands with wood, paper. Marine is another industry where Finland is one of the leaders with shipbuilding, so they have very, very good stuff. Deep tech, if you are looking at research and deep tech, then Finland has great opportunities. Startups, AI related startups is again good. So it's not like any other. So I would not say that you get every industry in Finland, but in Finland, if you work in these industries, then they would be the best companies in those industries for sure. For example, Supercell in gaming is one of them as an example.
Right. Sure. I've also been reading about the aging population in Finland, and possibly they have been a lot more encouraging about expats to come in, visas and all that. So, would you be able to throw some light on that?
So yes, so it is an opportunity, right? For us, I think from Indian perspective, if most of the audience is from India, then I think we have the advantage of the young and the youth who are skilled workforce. So for us, there is an opportunity because Finland, the average age, if I'm not wrong, is around close to 40, while ours is
Okay.
around 27, 28. So there is a big advantage for us. And
Right.
Finland also, all the visas might be slightly difficult, like because like in any other country, you need to justify why you are hiring a talent from outside. So that is where in your application, then you need to stand out and make yourself hireable in a way that where people should be able to justify why we should look at this talent from outside of Finland or outside of EU. But the aging population, the challenge is for real, and that
Okay.
creates an opportunity for all of
So, when you
us.
say talent not available in Finland, so what are the most likely industries or skill sets which may from Indians can aspire to come there for?
I think more than not available, I would say that we have a different perspective. We are go-getters, right? We do go and deliver
Right.
results. So we come from we see so many hardships in life. So when I the first answer that I gave on Finland being the happiest nation is an opportunity for us because people are complacent in Finland. If you are unemployed, government does provide you unemployment benefit. So not everyone will take every role in Finland. So, like,
Mhm.
I don't mean only the blue collar, even in the white collar roles, people will not
Oh,
accept it under a certain, say, pay and at a certain level and so on. So, for us, the opportunity is we can stand out with our application in terms of our go getting attitude, ability to deliver, ability to multitask, deliver on multiple projects, speed of execution. So, those are things. In terms of roles, it would be more technical roles are very easy
okay.
to get. If you are a developer, you definitely get a quality or tester, you get a project. Scrum master, if you are into project management, there are roles there. There are business side where there is language requirement, maybe the number of opportunities are lesser, but
Okay.
there are opportunities for sure.
Okay. And for people from the humanities background and all that, or is it mostly STEM people who are in
So
demand there? Yeah.
So humanity again, if you have a perspective on a global role, like if you can come
Right.
up and say that, hey, I can deliver global leadership and development programs or global recruitment, then there are
Right.
opportunities, but the numbers are slightly fewer. There is
Okay.
another way to get in is an entrepreneur visa. So there is a startup
Uh-huh.
visa for entrepreneurs, which is
Right.
a 2 year visa, which will lower the threshold for everything else. So if you have a running startup, like say for example Divya on this call. So if someone
Right.
one from the team, if they want to move in, then there is definitely an entrepreneur visa, and then there is an opportunity
So good to know.
there.
Okay. So coming to the recruitment process, how is it different in say Finland vis-a-vis most people of us, we involved in
Yeah.
India so far?
Yeah, so it's a slow process. So I think there is a need for educating the Finnish recruiters on which Indian university or why Indian company background is useful. So that way the difference is more on the negative side. So Finnish recruitment would be more in terms of say we need to stand out from the applicants that they see every day. And second one is
Right.
this system is not tailored to see hundreds of applications. They are more because Finland has a population of 5 million. So most of the roles they are, or most of the recruiters are used to 50 or 100 applicants. So they are not used to multi hundreds of applicants that you would see every day, Achil.
Right. Right. Right.
So I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Tsunami of
so I would say
applications.
yes, exactly. So if you just send your CV as whatever is been made for some other role, the chances of you getting an opportunity is very less. But if you stand out, if you create additional assets or if you create additional application, good cover letter and so on, then it's very easy to stand out in Finland as compared to a US company.
Fantastic. Yeah, just for the benefit of the listeners, Of course, and the link to Raghu's LinkedIn is there. But I would love it if you can also visit his website, raghunathkodiyu.com. And there's a very good article that I remember reading a few years back, 9 ways to boost your job search. I think, Raghu, you've given it a do-it-yourself kind of a thing for anybody aspiring. No, I'm sure not only in Finland, in India, it will be a great boost for each of us. Okay, so essentially, uh, yeah, I think we've
Can
kind of
can I add one point? Can I add one
yeah,
point on that, Achyut? I
please,
think
please, please.
one way to stand out and which I really tested it and then I've recommended for many and many people have got jobs is you can run a LinkedIn ad these days. Like you and I, any one of us can run LinkedIn ads, right? So we can create a good template or good website or good blog or whatever it is. One article or a visual CV. All of these tools are available right now. So create one and run a 50 euros, maybe which is worth what 5,000 rupees campaign LinkedIn ad for targeting Finnish recruiters. It worked really well for me when I was landing a marketing leadership role.
Wow.
So in a global leadership.
I mean, instead
So
of
I,
our waiting for an ad to appear, you're trying to say that we advertise ourselves
yes,
as
and
job
I did
seekers.
that, and you won't believe it. I had 6 offers in 5 weeks of yeah, about 6 offers in 5 weeks, and these were
Boy,
I was targeting all the CXOs, so CEOs and CHROs and CMOs and recruiters, head of executive leadership recruiters, and I had about 5,000 or close to I don't remember the numbers, but about 10,000 visitors of that target group. All of them clicking on my profile, several requests, and then landing roles. So it was a reverse the other way of marketing yourself and it worked fantastically well for me.
fantastic. In fact, on that note, there's a question from one of our listeners, Mohana Priya. She
Hmm.
says, what is the scope for UI designers and illustrators? I guess
Oh,
you've already answered.
no, you are
But
gold dust, Mohan Priya. So not just for Finland, I think if you are a good UI designer, then you are a rarity in the market right now. But then the only difference that I would say is minimalistic design. So Nordic countries, especially Scandinavia, if you look at the design language, it's very minimalistic. One of the challenges that I found in most of our Asian UI, again not stereotyping, but UI developers, is that it's more colorful. So if you can bring in the minimalism and if you have a design language that speaks to this Scandinavian market, then you will be picked up at
hello.
no time.
Yeah, I think
Quite honestly.
yeah, we
And
lost you,
Raghunath, to get a
Raghu. Can you
little more.
repeat the last sentence? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So I was just saying that the scope is definitely there. It is about minimalistic design. So if you can look at the Scandinavian design language and if you can create portfolio according to that, then you have a big market here. And they are really well paid UI designers here.
So, Raghu, to build on
Hello.
that,
I
right, and to
think
get a little
we
more
lost you,
tactical.
Raghu. Yeah. Can you repeat that? Yeah.
So, Achut, I think your connection, we could hear Raghu, okay? And your weak Wi Fi signal is flashing. I think it might be your connection. But Raghu,
Okay.
Mhm.
to carry
Okay.
on, what are the chances of leadership? And I know you talked about the entrepreneurship visa, right? That people stand a
Yeah.
good chance. But and one of the things with multiple and kind of migrating to other countries is, do you have to start pretty much work your way up again? Right? Or do people, let's say, at a leadership role in UI, UX, leadership role in other places, right? Project management roles,
Mhm.
can they parallelly, work in leadership levels when they migrate to like a Finland, right? From a visa standpoint and opportunity.
So, quite honest, that's a good question, Divya. And honestly, there is a struggle, but I would never recommend a candidate, any good talent, to compromise and move into a country. Please don't
Yeah.
do that. So, if I were giving you know your worth, if we are a talent, we should know our worth. So, I keep receiving several requests here from many, very, very highly qualified people. Like recently, yesterday, with a 7 year experience person who is saying that I can start in a beginner role. And my answer is no. Always struggle and I would never recommend you joining in a lower role. It might take time. Be patient. Look for the right roles. Have a good career search strategy and then build on it. But with patience, you will definitely get the With the right role, you will definitely get, sorry, with the right time and patience, you will definitely land a good role.
Perfect. Thanks, Raghunath. And the opportunities though for leadership are a little less, I'm guessing, scarce than if you wanted to start off there or like an entrepreneur there, right?
Correct. Yes, it is slightly lower, but because the country itself is small, so we are talking about say 1,000 companies, then 10 leadership roles, and we are talking about 10,000 leadership roles, right? So it is a small country, but then if you are not in a hurry, so one suggestion that I would give, I know that everyone has a different personal journey, but if you are not desperate or if you don't need a role immediately, be patient, look for the right roles, don't undersell yourself, and you will definitely find a job or a good leadership position here.
Thanks.
Fantastic, Raghu. So, yeah, in
Thank you.
fact, Raghu, in fact, after the we shared this on LinkedIn and social media, I had a couple of Indians from other countries, Vietnam and
Mhm.
Thailand also reaching out, wanting. So I get to understand that Finland is not much of a manufacturing industry, but more of IT and services. Would you say that?
I would say that, yes. So they do have manufacturing. So Kone is there, Nokia
Right,
factories are there, where there is
right,
manufacturing. Wärtsilä is big, but it
right.
is heavily, I would say, more in terms of services, AI, because they also do a lot of research on deep tech, on health tech. So Finland will rank very highly on these industries as compared to
Right.
manufacturing. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, all in all, what you're trying to say is it does make sense for somebody from India to no, move to Finland, okay, but be just patient. And so, how
Yeah.
can someone in India or living elsewhere find a job? Okay, is it,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
I would say that that's again a good question, and my recommendation would be twofold. One, obviously apply for a job in Finland directly if you have unique skill set, or if you
Right,
have fantastic, like if you are really good at your work, you will definitely find a job anywhere in the world, right? That is my hypothesis. But the second option is always look for Finnish companies in your local market. Finnish companies are very, very pro international transfers, internal transfers. So Finland believes in equality and it walks the talk. So if you work in any Finnish company, if you find a job within a Finnish company, let's say in India, and then if you want to move to Finland, a Finnish company will always make it available for you, will create those opportunities. So if you are not in a hurry to move out, then the easier option would be join a local Finnish company in your wherever you are in that country, work there for 6 months
right.
to 1 year, and then internally apply for a job, and you will definitely get it. Like the threshold to move abroad internally within a Finnish company is lower as compared to, in my experience, an US or a UK based company.
Wow. I see you're a
Yeah.
board member in the Finland India Business Association. Okay.
Yes.
And so do you think there are a lot of Finland organizations in India? If you can just, yeah, I remember you mentioning some of the
Yeah.
names like Nokia, Wärtsilä, and other things. So,
Yes.
so are they very active in India, the business
They
association?
are. They are. Again, the numbers are lesser, but then there are about 150 active companies, active Finnish companies. And like as an
Wow.
example, I can give you Tieto. Tieto has an office in Pune with about 3,000 Indian employees. Lindstrom, which has a Chennai
Right.
manufacturing unit,
Right.
should be about 1,000, 2,000. So Nokia has a big presence, again, about 3,
Right.
4,000 at least in India. So these are companies which definitely have offices. Might not be, again, if you look at a relative global scale, the numbers are fewer, but there are good Finnish companies in India for sure.
Fantastic. Hey, there's one more question from a dear friend of mine, Pascal, who is from
Mhm.
Austria. And he has a question, Raghu. How is leadership in Finland? Rather top down or group decisions?
It is more group decisions. That's a very good question. But then I would say if we the in theory I've learned about servant leadership, right? During my MBA, and we see several articles. I write a lot about servant leadership and people leadership. But if there is one country that walks the talk, I would say that is Finland. The example that I gave you, first lady delivering in a public health care like hospital in a room next to you. But the second example I can give you is I often see
Yeah.
CEOs and chairmen of different companies like multi-billion dollar, like 20,
Mhm.
30 billion dollar companies, they are shopping with you in the same supermarket, pushing their own shopping cart and so on. So the equality is maintained so well, or it's walk the talk in the society is followed in the society, that even in the organizations you will see that it's a equal and a servant leadership is followed, which also then makes the decision making as a group decision making can be slightly difficult to adjust if you're coming in from a top down organization. But once you get used to this, complement it with our skills of agility and ability to find solutions, then it's a perfect mix. So an Indian experience or a global experience plus a mix of a servant leadership will make it a holistic leader, in my opinion.
So,
So
Raghu,
Fantastic.
also
on a
as a
sorry, go ahead. No, on a lighter note, I would say Finland is a good finishing school for most of us. Please go ahead, Divya.
Pun intended.
Yeah, indeed.
Raghu, also, can you talk about? So, you did touch upon the leadership culture, but and I'm sure you know the work culture in India and the work culture in some other countries, right? What is it like
Yeah,
in Finland?
yeah. Again, I would say heaven in that sense. I've worked in different countries. I've worked in Hong Kong. Managed different regions. I leave from work every day at 4 in the evening to pick up my son from school. So we have two boys. I leave every day. So irrespective of whichever meeting it is, 4 to 6, I say that I need to go pick up our kids, drop them home. Once they are tucked in, like once they are adjusted at home, then I can take the calls if there is a call. But I don't send emails after 4 in the evening, and I don't expect a reply from my team after 4 in the evening. So I can work. I work late in the nights because of my bad habit, but the expectation is that you can work from say 8 to 4 or 8 to 4:30, and then you can just switch off. So the work culture is very, very different in a way that it is the way it should be. But it might be difficult to adjust to that kind of a work culture in the beginning. But once you get used to this work life balance, then it's very difficult to move to some other place.
I can.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And you
here,
can say no to
I wish I
meetings. You
were.
can say no to meetings.
Wow. Yeah, so
Go
thanks,
ahead,
Raghu. It's
Achyut.
been splendid listening to you. And no, we've generally seen a lot of people move to one of the European companies because once you get a visa in the European Union, it's easy to kind of move from one country to another. But I kind of listening to you, I feel Finland is more a destination for most other people